Do you ever realize how much energy we waste trying to explain ourselves to people who don't really care? Think about it. How many times have you found yourself defending your choices, explaining your dreams, or waiting for someone to approve what you want to do? Let me tell you something. Every minute you spend trying to prove yourself to others is a minute taken away from your own growth. It's time to stop. Once you turn your attention inward, everything around you begins to change. Why? Because success doesn't come from talking about your plans. It doesn't come from trying to convince others that you can do it. It comes from action. It comes from discipline. It comes from showing up for yourself every day, even when no one is watching. A lot of people never reach their goals because they're too distracted. They let outside noise affect their progress. They scroll endlessly through social media, comparing their journey to someone else's highlight moments. They worry about what friends or family might say if they choose a different path. They waste energy arguing with people who don't care about their success. And by the end of it, they feel exhausted, frustrated, and stuck in the same place. But listen, when you cut out the noise, when you stop explaining yourself, when you put your energy only into what matters, that's when you become truly strong. Because the truth is, success is created quietly. It's built in early mornings when the world is asleep. It's built in the moments when you choose effort over applause. It's built during those quiet times when you keep going even if nobody sees you. You don't need a crowd. You don't need their approval. What you need is consistency. The more you focus on your own journey, your personal growth, your discipline, your learning, the more your life starts to align. Better opportunities come your way. You make smarter choices. You feel more confident, not because someone else said you're good, but because you proved it to yourself through your actions. And to be clear, this doesn't mean you shut people out or isolate yourself. It means you protect your energy. It means you choose carefully where you give your time and focus. It means knowing that not every conversation needs your reaction. Not every opinion deserves your attention, and not everyone should have access to your mind. Once you learn to protect your focus, you start taking full control of your life. And here's the best part. When you work quietly, when you stop announcing every move, your success begins to speak on its own. People start to notice. They wonder how you did it. They see the results without you saying a word. Your actions will speak louder than any speech ever could. So here's a challenge for you. Stop talking about what you plan to do. Stop worrying about other people's opinions. Stop waiting for someone to approve your plans. Just start doing the work. Focus on yourself. Show up every day and trust that if you do that, everything else will fall into place. You've got this. Now go and make it happen. What you focus on grows. If you focus on personal development, discipline, and learning, your life will change. It's really that simple. Your energy is one of the strongest powers you have, and many people don't realize how much control they actually have over their lives. Every thought you think, every choice you make, every step you take is shaping your future. But the problem is, most people direct their energy the wrong way. They focus on what's missing instead of what's possible. They chase distractions instead of staying disciplined. They listen to outside voices instead of following their own path. And then they wonder why they're stuck. The truth is, your life reflects whatever you focus on. If you fill your mind with negativity, if you spend time with the wrong people, if you waste your hours on useless things, your world will show that. But if you start putting your energy into improving yourself, into learning, growing, and becoming your best, your life will begin to transform. And this isn't just positive thinking. This is backed by science. Your brain is designed to notice more of what you focus on. It's called the reticular activating system. It acts like a filter, bringing your attention to things that match your main thoughts. You know how when you think about buying a certain car, you suddenly see it everywhere? That's your brain at work. Now think about this. What if you trained your mind to focus on opportunities instead of limits? What if you taught yourself to see solutions instead of problems? You would begin to attract more of what you truly want. instead of just accepting whatever life throws at you. The problem is, most people don't control where their energy goes. They let the world guide them instead of choosing their own direction. They wake up and scroll through their phone, letting the news and social media decide how they feel for the rest of the day. They get caught in gossip, negativity, and meaningless distractions. Then they wonder why they feel empty and mentally tired. But here's the truth. Your energy is your responsibility to manage. No one else will protect it for you. If you want a different life, you have to be careful about what you let into your mind and space. That means setting strong boundaries, saying no to things that don't match your goals, staying close to people who push you forward, not hold you back. That means replacing complaints with action, excuses with self-control, and bad habits with focused effort. When you do this, when you choose to feed your mind the right thoughts and fill your life with the right habits, results begin to appear. And once you start seeing real results, everything shifts. Suddenly, the things that used to bother you don't matter anymore. The negativity that once slowed you down doesn't even catch your attention. The people who doubted you fade into the background, not because the world changed, but because you changed. You taught yourself to care about what truly matters, and when you give your full energy to becoming wiser, stronger, and better, your outer world will reflect that. That's why success isn't just about luck. It's about alignment. It's about making sure your mindset, your actions, and your energy all match the kind of life you want. You don't need to have every answer. You don't need a perfect plan. But you do need to be intentional with your focus, because in the end, you're either feeding your future or feeding your fears. So ask yourself, what are you giving your attention to? Because that one choice is shaping your life, whether you notice it or not. Distractions destroy progress. It's one of the biggest reasons people stay stuck for years, not because they lack skill, not because they aren't smart, but because they waste time on things that don't matter. Every time you let your attention get pulled by negativity, gossip, or unimportant noise, you lose strength and time that could have gone toward your goals. And the hardest part is, many people don't even realize it's happening. Think about how many hours you've spent watching others live their lives instead of building your own. How often you let someone's rude remark ruin your mood. How many times you said you'd start something important but let tiny things throw you off track. That's what distractions do. They pull you away from your purpose. And the more you allow them, the harder it becomes to stay focused. And let's be honest, distractions aren't always obvious. Sometimes they look like urgent tasks, but they're not. An argument you didn't need to join, a meeting that wasn't needed, a social outing you didn't even want to attend. These little things pile up, and before you know it, you've lost valuable time that could have pushed you forward. That's why the most successful people guard their time seriously. They don't let distractions control their day. They don't waste effort on things that don't support their mission. They protect their focus because they know nothing great happens without it. You need to think the same way. If you really want to do something important, you can't let your attention be pulled in every direction. You need to control your environment, your habits, and your thoughts. One of the biggest distractions is caring too much about what others think. It's surprising how much energy we waste just worrying about opinions. We stop ourselves from taking chances because we fear judgment. We hold back on goals because we don't want to be criticized. But here's the truth. People will always judge no matter what you do. So why not chase what fulfills you? Why not build a life that feels right for you instead of worrying about someone else's thoughts? The moment you stop letting outside opinions guide your life, you finally get to focus on what truly matters. And when you do that, your life changes. You achieve more. You move forward faster. You feel more confident, not because someone praised you, but because you earned it. That's the power of removing distractions. It makes room for you to grow into who you were meant to be. But here's the thing. This kind of change doesn't happen by accident. You have to choose it. It means drawing clear boundaries. It means saying no more often. It means building a daily routine that puts your goals first. It means removing anything in your life that holds you back, whether that's negative people, harmful habits, or time-wasting routines. Because in the end, success isn't just about working hard, it's about working smart. And working smart means guarding your focus with everything you have. So if you're tired of feeling stuck, if you're annoyed that you're still far from where you want to be, ask yourself honestly, where is your energy going? Are you using it for things that help you grow or wasting it on things that keep you stuck? Because the moment you start taking your focus seriously, everything begins to change. You move faster, you start seeing progress. You begin realizing how much you can accomplish when you stop letting distractions control your life. And the best part is, once you learn this, it becomes your new normal. Focus becomes your natural state. Progress becomes something you expect. And the old things that used to pull you off track lose their power because you've trained yourself to stay locked in on what truly matters. So don't let distractions steal your future. Protect your time, protect your energy, and watch how quickly your life turns around. Success isn't about one big moment. It's built through small steps repeated over and over. It's easy to believe that one huge change will fix everything, that one major breakthrough or lucky chance will transform your life. But that's not how things really work. Real success comes from consistent effort. The small actions you take without attention, the quiet habits that seem tiny, are the ones that lead to huge change over time. Think about it. Every choice you make is either pushing you forward or holding you back. Waking up early to work on your goals, that's growth. Reading instead of scrolling endlessly, that's growth. Choosing discipline instead of comfort, that's growth. And even though these steps might look small now, when you repeat them every day, they start to stack up. Most people don't reach their goals because they don't understand the power of consistency. They try something new, but when results don't show quickly, they stop. They put in effort for a week, but when things still look the same, they fall back into old habits. What they don't realize is that real success comes from showing up again and again, even when no one sees it, even when you feel tired, even when it feels like nothing is changing. Because results take time, but that doesn't mean they aren't coming. It's like planting a seed. You don't put it in the soil and expect a tree the next day. You water it, you take care of it, you wait. In the beginning, it looks like nothing is happening. But underneath, roots are growing, getting stronger, preparing to rise. That's exactly how personal growth works. Every time you take a small step, you're building your foundation. You might not see anything yet, but if you keep going, the results will come. The problem is most people give up too early. They get upset when progress doesn't appear fast. They start believing their work doesn't matter. But the truth is, every bit of effort adds up. If you're always learning, always improving, always trying, even in small ways, you're setting yourself up to win. The people who reach their dreams aren't the ones who made one huge move. They're the ones who stayed consistent long after others quit. And here's the best part. Once you start seeing results, momentum builds. One good habit leads to another. One small win leads to the next victory. Success grows on itself, but it all starts with small, repeated actions. That's why your daily habits are so important. The things you do automatically shape your future. If you want better health, it's not one intense workout. It's moving every day. If you want success, it's not one big opportunity. It's learning and improving each day. If you want confidence, it's not waiting for praise. It's proving through action that you can trust yourself. The good news is you don't have to wait. You don't need everything perfect. You don't need approval. You just need to choose one small step and do it every day to move forward. And if you stay on that path, if you trust the process and keep going even when progress feels slow, one day you'll look around and realize your entire life has changed. That's the power of small, steady growth. It's not about one giant leap. It's about daily steps. Because when you live like that, success becomes your reality, not just a wish. Confidence doesn't come from approval. It's not about likes, comments, or compliments. It's not about hoping someone else tells you you're enough. Confidence comes from action, from proving to yourself through effort that you can handle anything. The more you do for yourself, the less you need validation from others. Many people think confidence is something you're born with, but that's not true. Confidence is a skill, and all skills grow with practice. You don't build confidence by sitting and thinking about doing something. You build it by taking action, by facing fears even when you're nervous. Here's the truth. If you always wait for approval before taking a step, you won't get far. Not everyone will support you. Not everyone will understand your goals. And if you let that stop you, you'll stay still. You'll shrink your dreams to fit a comfortable life that lacks purpose. Think about the most confident people you know. What do they have in common? It's not that they feel no fear. It's not that they always know what to do. It's that they trust themselves enough to take the next step, even when they have doubts. They don't wait for permission. They don't freeze because of opinions. They act. And by acting, they gain proof they're capable, proof they can get through challenges, proof they can learn along the way. That's the real secret. Confidence isn't about being ready. It's about acting before you feel ready. Most people wait for certainty, but that moment almost never comes. There will always be fear. There will always be questions. But if you let that stop you, you'll never begin. The only way to grow confidence is to move even when you're unsure and trust that you'll handle whatever comes next. And once you start doing that, your need for outside approval disappears. When you show yourself you can do it, you stop needing others to confirm it. You stop needing praise because your actions already prove your worth. That's when confidence becomes real, because it's built on truth, not opinions. This is why people who take chances, who step into discomfort, who push themselves again and again, always seem confident. It's not because they don't feel fear. It's because they've seen themselves overcome challenges and they believe they can do it again. The great thing is you don't need to be perfect or the most talented or the smartest. You just need to be willing to take action. Confidence doesn't come from waiting. It comes from doing. Every time you face a fear, every time you push forward, every time you take a step even with doubt, your confidence grows. So if you've been waiting for the perfect moment, stop. If you've been holding back because of what others might say, let it go. If you've been hoping someone else will validate your dream, understand this. The only person who must believe is you. Confidence isn't knowing everything. It's trusting yourself to take the next step, even if the path is unclear. And when you start living this way, when you stop hesitating and begin acting, everything changes. You realize you never needed permission. You never needed someone else's approval. You just needed to keep showing up until confidence became part of you. And once that happens, nothing can stop you. Patience and discipline are game changers. They separate the ones who succeed from those who quit too early. The truth is, most people don't reach their goals not because they lack talent or intelligence, but because they stop before the results appear. They don't fail because they lack potential, but because they lack the patience to stay committed. They expect quick results. They want success to be easy and fast. And when it isn't, they give up. But here's what they forget. Anything meaningful takes time. Every successful person you admire has one thing in common. They stayed consistent even when things didn't look promising. They didn't quit when it became difficult. They didn't walk away because results were slow. They understood that real growth takes time, and the only way to reach it is through steady effort. This is where most people struggle. They start full of excitement, but the moment they face difficulties, they begin to doubt themselves. They think that if results don't show fast, they must be on the wrong path. But the truth is, the gap between effort and results is normal. It's part of the journey. It's supposed to take time. And that's where patience matters. Think of a seed. You place it in the soil. You water it. You give it sunlight. But for a long time, maybe months, it looks like nothing is happening. But underground, something important is happening. Roots are growing. The base is becoming stronger. One day, the plant finally rises above the surface. That's exactly how growth works. Just because you can't see results yet doesn't mean they're not coming. But many people never reach that point. They quit before the breakthrough arrives. This is why discipline is so important. Discipline is what keeps you going when motivation disappears. Because let's be honest, there will be days when you don't feel like showing up, days when you doubt yourself, days when progress feels slow, days when you wonder if any of it is worth it. But discipline is choosing to keep going anyway. It's showing up even when you don't feel inspired. It's doing the work not because you feel like it, but because you promised yourself you would. And the truth is, many people are chasing motivation when what they really need is discipline. Motivation comes and goes. It doesn't stay forever. But discipline creates real results. It's waking up early when you want to sleep in. It's putting in effort when no one sees it. It's staying focused when everything around you is trying to distract you. And when you mix discipline with patience, everything changes. Because when you trust the process, when you understand that real results take time, you stop feeling discouraged. You stop giving up too soon. You stop letting small setbacks make you question your big dreams. Most people expect too much in a week and too little in a year. They get upset when they don't see fast progress, but don't realize how much they could achieve if they stayed consistent over time. The truth is small. Steady actions repeated again and again create huge results. So if you're feeling uncertain, if you're wondering whether you're still on the right path, ask yourself, are you giving it enough time? Are you staying consistent even when it's challenging? Are you showing up for yourself every day even when it feels like nothing is happening? Because if you are, don't stop. Your moment is coming. The results will show, but only if you stay patient and focused long enough to reach them. The people who win in life aren't always the most gifted. They're the ones who don't quit. They're the ones who keep going day after day, trusting that their effort will pay off. And that's exactly what you need to do. Because if you master patience and discipline, nothing can stop you. Success doesn't need attention. It doesn't need approval. It doesn't require you to announce everything you're doing. In fact, the strongest move is staying quiet and letting your success speak for you. Many people waste time saying what they're going to do instead of actually doing it. They get stuck trying to impress others, waiting for praise or permission. But the truth is, real success is built in silence when no one is watching, when no one is cheering, when it's just you and the effort you put in. The problem with always sharing your goals is that it tricks your brain into thinking you've already accomplished something. Studies show that announcing goals gives your brain a reward feeling similar to achieving them. This creates a false sense of progress. You feel good, but you haven't done the real work yet. That's why so many people talk a lot but don't follow through. They already got the emotional reward before even starting. But when you stay quiet, when you focus on the work instead of the attention, that's when real growth happens. Because now you're not wasting time explaining your choices. You're not waiting for someone to approve your move. You're not expecting others to agree with your plans. You're simply doing the work. And over time, that builds real momentum. Think about the most successful people. They're not announcing every step. They're not trying to prove their value with words. They just show up. They stay consistent. And they let results speak. That's the mindset you should aim for, because when you focus on your own growth, there's no space to worry about approval. You're too busy becoming your best self. Another reason silence is powerful is because it protects your focus. Every time you share your vision with someone who doesn't understand it, you open the door to doubt, negativity, and discouragement. Not everyone will support you. Not everyone will understand your direction. And if you're not careful, their words can get in your head and make you question yourself. That's why it's better to hold your vision quietly and let your progress do the speaking. When you stay silent, you stay in control. You don't give others the power to influence your focus. But this isn't only about being quiet. It's about using all your energy for your personal growth instead of getting distracted by what others are doing. Many people lose time comparing themselves to others, constantly checking how far someone else has gone, measuring their progress against someone else's path. But the moment you bring your focus back to yourself, everything changes. Because now you're not chasing someone else's pace. You're not following trends. You're simply becoming your best self. And here's the amazing part. When you stay focused on your own journey, when you block out distractions, when you do the work quietly, things begin to fall into place. You start attracting better chances. You start seeing consistent progress. You start building real confidence not because someone told you you're capable, but because you prove to yourself that you are. Success isn't about being loud. It's about being steady. It's about showing up every day, whether people notice or not. It's about staying loyal to your goals, even when no one is clapping for you. Because when you do that, when you stop talking and start doing, when you stop explaining and keep growing, it's only a matter of time before everything changes. And when that moment comes, you won't need to say a single word. Your progress will speak for you.